Bonjour and welcome to Behind the Mic Live. I'm G. I'm your host. And my guest today she's a business strategist. She's an author. She's a speaker. She's a powerhouse. Please welcome to Behind the Mic Live, Tanya MFK.
Hello. I'm so excited. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Yes. So as people come on, I know there's a delay with LinkedIn and things, but as people come on and want to say hi in the comments, what I'd love to know is who is your favorite rock star?
Ooh,
So you can put that into the
rock
comments and we're
star.
going to get started here. Now, Tanya, the big question that I have to ask, because we've had conversations off camera before with the music background and everything, what does MFK stand for?
MFK. So it's not as exciting as most people hope for. I do love that it sounds very badass, but it's actually just the acronym for my own name. So my name is Tanya Marie Figueres Kreisinger. And let's be honest, like short of Marie, no one's going to spell Figueres or Kreisinger. And we just go, how are we going to name this company or name this or make a website? And we said, you know what, MFK is going to be the easiest thing to spell. And the truth is, it is. I'm the only one to this day. If you Google Tanya MFK, I'm the only
Great
one.
SEO.
So it worked out wonderful for SEO. Yes. So
well,
that's the mystery.
That's amazing because I thought MFK stood for MFK
Right.
for cool, as
Ooh.
in cool in the gang, cool with the K.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, it's a throwback to my old hip hop days. So we got the Tanya MF Kreisinger up in here. So MFK, yeah. So it is official though. It's on all my credit cards. It's the whole deal.
It's on the credit card. That's great.
My real name, it like legitimately is my real name.
Well, this is what we talk about, branding and standing out and standing out from people. You know, I mean, my name's Gregory, but I go by G. It just fits better. You know, G's always been my nickname in the music industry. So, and I understand you worked in the music industry back in the day as well in the hip hop world. I'd love to know more about that.
Well, you know, I love how you kind of transitioned us into those two places, because when we talk about branding, I think it's this thing that in the business space, we overthink so much. We're like, oh, it's this big entity. It's color psychology and logos and all of that stuff. But the truth is that's the last thing. That first part of the brand is actually really figuring out who you are. And as you transitioned us to kind of chat about the glory days of music, that was a huge part of it, right? Like a huge part of working with the artists wasn't, they were artists. They knew how to make their music and do their thing. So, as you're coming in to work with them, your goal is to go from a marketing standpoint, what is the essence of who they are? What are the things they stand for? What's their battle cry? How do you explain them as a brand of what they're about? And so it really is about figuring out who you are, what you're doing. And that was a big part back in the music days, back in, what was it? 2001 is when I started getting involved in music. So,
wow. Okay. Yeah. We're dating ourselves. We've been in.
Yeah, I know. But it was a big difference. And music was kind of, things were status quo for a while. And then that's when digital music started coming in and everything started changing.
Everything changed.
Everything changed. Napster was a thing and people were going, well, what is this? And I love that we're talking about this right now, because how timely as we talk about this time of AI, right? Yes, everything's changing. The industry will be up on its head. You know what? It was, yes. And we also figured a way through it. We figured the new way, right? Back then, we couldn't give away digital music. Nobody cared that we had these cards printed out. I remember at shows, and we would give out these links and people would go, what is this? I want to see these.
I know. I remember that. Yes.
Yeah. You would leave a show, and I kid you not, you would find all these papers on the ground, which would be people had thrown away the digital link to the song that they could get because no one got it. It didn't make sense back then. And so part of it was for us to go, how does this make sense for us? How does this make sense for this new space and stage? And so it was a long time. A lot of changes were going on in the industry. It was digitized. People were freaking out about Napster. When people didn't understand, like, how do I get lyrics? How do I don't have it in my hand anymore. but we navigated, we went through it, and now it's normal, right? Now we don't even do iPods anymore. Now we just have digital streaming music.
Do you remember? Oh my God, we're like dating ourselves now. Do you remember when iPod came out, the original one, when Steve Jobs went on there and the thing? When I loved what he did is he pulled it out of the pocket. He goes, "What's this little pocket in the jeans for? That it's never big enough for a wallet or keys or anything. It's just what's this?" And he pops out this. I mean, it was just like that big. It was an iPod, and it was like, and everybody at the record labels was like, "Oh, what do we do now?"
Yeah.
What do we do now? And I think that's where we are now with AI. I think it's like with any technology, it's exciting, and there's going to be people that try to replace humans with it. But iPods didn't replace music. The music it was a form of, so how do you think AI
how
is?
we consume, right? It shifted our daily habits because they no longer consisted of carrying a booklet with 300 CDs in it, and they no longer consisted of sitting at a red light and switching them all out as quick as you could to get the next song, right? But while it sounds wonderful, it was still so new. And so it took this adaptation of resistance, fear, freak out, worry, excitement, then changed into, okay, I accept that this exists. Now, what does it mean for me? What does it mean for my existence? And being in music at the time, that was a big thing. And that to go, well, how do we take can we do with it? So we'll print things out, we'll test it out, we'll see how we can explain it to our audience. That was another part, right? And I want you all to hear this. Some of you are thinking in business terms, explain it to your audience. We forget that our responsibility isn't just to feed them with information, but to hold their hand in how to do it. Right? And that might be how to hold their hand, how to do it with the way you're choosing to use AI. For us at the time, it was holding their hand on how to embrace digital music, how to download this piece of paper, and how it's so cool, and to sell the benefit of that experience. And so, it's totally aligned. And I think it just reminds you of the shifts that we go through, and I think almost this fear. And I don't want to dismiss the reality of looking into the downsides of things, but also I think we can look back and look at all the times where we've gone, oh no, Y2K or digital music,
I know,
or AI, and then go, oh right, we're totally fine. We're totally fine. And in some ways, good and bad, not much has actually changed, because the core foundations of how we want to hear music, we still hear it, whether it came from the vinyl, came from tapes, came from an 8-track, came from a CD,
oh my God,
right? I'm going back, right?
We're going way back.
Spotify, right? We still hear it. We still might listen to it in the morning. That habit didn't change, right, G? Like that habit's still there, that we still show up and go, gotta hear my jam before the shower. So yes, how we consumed it changed, but we still stay the same. And I think that's a huge part of actually what we've been talking about a lot in business, that there's all this like fandangled stuff here and there, and the new, AI is one of them, or a new platform, or the new way to post this or that, or it's TikTok, or it's Clubhouse, right? Clubhouse wasn't that long ago, everyone. All these newest things, but in the end, us, the humans, the ones who are making the purchases, we actually stay the same. We stay a lot the same. And if we remember that our job in business is relationship with humans, then we can stop freaking out. We can stop going, and remember that as long as you're still working with humans and connecting with humans, and again, even if you're selling dog food, you're still selling to a human. Right? That human has to buy it. They're the one who has to trust you. So again, after we go all this memory lane, I think just remembering that we stay the same. And I think that's the beauty that we're trying to remind you in business, that as long as you do everything about creating a relationship, creating a respectful, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a mutual beneficial relationship, not just transactional, you're going to have a successful business. You're going to be okay.
Yes, I think what like the music is a great example. I remember, you and I, we were both working in the music industry in different areas. You were with the record labels, I was on tour and stuff, but everybody was freaking out. What are we going to do? I mean, I remember all the record labels literally freaking out. What are we going to do? We spent all this money on printing these plastic things with great artwork. I do miss the
Gold
artwork.
cases,
I miss the artwork of
the
vinyl
artwork,
and the CDs
taking
that
that
pulled out.
paper out and reading all the details.
I
Oh
miss
gosh,
that.
if you're listening to us right now and you don't have any idea what we're talking about, first of all, thank you for listening to two old fogies here. And two, it used to be really awesome. You would pull those pieces and you had a whole experience. But you know what? Isn't this awesome, G? Because as we're talking about that, imagine those parts in business that are missing. Like, where are we missing opportunities to create physical experiences, right? In our business now? Like, there's still always something amazing there. So sorry, you were saying, G,
no, this goes right with it, because what I'm saying is I think a lot of people, just like when new technology comes out, they freak out. Everyone's like, this is going to replace your job. But what it does is it creates more jobs if you pivot with it and if you understand. So I think with coaches, we shouldn't be afraid of AI. We definitely need to control it. We definitely need to but the human element, it's still human, person to person that sells. It's person to person that coaches. We can use the technology to help us write posts. We can use it to edit. Opus is great for editing videos and things. But what we have to keep, and this is what like our whole mission, I know it's your mission, is to keep that it's you talking to your audience. AI is there as an assistant. As soon as we replace ourselves with AI, it's just like when the record labels went, oh, we don't have to worry about taking care of the fans anymore because it's digital and we can't see how many. And it's like, no, take a different approach and realize that everybody who's listening to your stream on Spotify is a person. Everybody watching your post on LinkedIn is a person. So it's still person to person, no matter if it's AI or not.
Yeah, it's absolutely. It's so important to remember that there's that individual on the other end, because in this space, you will be constantly pushed to bring people down into numbers, people down into transactions. And that's the thing. I think that's where we get lost. That's where we lose joy in business. That's where we lose a true connection in business. And so when we have this worry that, oh, it's going to replace us, it's going to do this, it made me think of this, G, like, almost everybody who's listening to this right now probably has a smartphone, right?
Yes.
And imagine a time before the internet, all right?
Where not that long ago.
Right, not that long ago. For some of us, that's really
for some of us. But
if it wasn't that long ago, there was a time where almost the main communication was a regular landline telephone, right? That's how you'd say hello. And you'd make a call, you'd make a sales call, you'd do these things. Well, guess what? They were able to automate those calls. Oh no, it's going to take all our jobs. Now everyone tell me, which last robocall did you feel replaced the human you needed to talk to?
Oh my God, yes.
Not one at all. But there was a time where that was it. That was it. Oh gosh, you guys, it's over. We don't cancel the sales team. We're done, right? Automatic calls are the thing. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't good technology out there.
Right.
But the idea that we are anywhere advanced in a place to replace what will create human-to-human connection is actually more science fiction than anything I can imagine right now. And that's what I want to bring back into those of you who are watching this. You're working with learning to have your voice, learning to speak up in your business. I'm teaching people how to run that business and have those pieces that they come together. The main thing that I think we're always trying to bring people back to is the sheer place that we win by being us, by being humans, connecting with other humans. That is the superpower we have. You might not have the fancy platform. You might not have a huge audience. You can't invest in XYZ right now, but you know what you have? You. There's only one of you. And the more that this takes us all the way back to the beginning, G, if we talk about the biggest you that you can be, we talk about that is your superpower, that is the thing, then that's where you win, right? AI, blah, blah, doesn't name your thing. It can
Right.
never be you, right? And we talked
Right.
about this. It can't tell your stories of the
Yeah.
food grandma made you when you were 5. It can't talk about when you were scared in 6th grade. It will never have those stories or those insight. And so the more that we stop complicating business, are there things to do? It has all kinds of pieces, but it can be actually quite simple if we remember, I just need to get to know people, connect with them, and help them. Like that's
Yes.
what I'm doing.
Yes. If we take it to the core, take away all the technology. This is what I would say to bands on the road. Your job is to go out there and perform to the audience. If it's
Yeah.
one person, you perform like it's 10,000. If it's
Yes. Oh
10,000, you
yeah.
perform like it's 100,000. And the
You,
flip side is that when they got really good at it, and you can see this with your favorite rock stars. By the way, anyone who's joining us, I say, if I'd love to know, Tanya and I'd love to know who is your favorite rock star. We're going to ask that at
yes.
the end. But then what happens is when they go on an arena or a stadium of 100,000 or 50,000 people, they connect with that one person
Yeah.
because it's their story. It's the authenticity.
Mhm.
AI will never be able to replace our story and never be able to create the same feelings. I say that now, I'll probably end up being banned by AI, but we'll never be able to replace the feelings of when you're on a coaching call and you're talking to somebody and you're like, I understand.
Yeah.
I've been there, and you're not reading a script and you're not reading what, Google says is the latest trending thing. So it's like, I think we have to look at AI as an assistant. Just look
Mhm.
at the microphones we use and cameras and everything. It just adds to getting our message out
As
there. And
tools, yeah. They're really about that tools because the fundamentals, and I think even all the things that we've covered, even such a short time, if you again you look back at these things in music or technology or any of these pieces, the fundamental need of showing up,
yes,
existing, right?
yes,
Somebody finding out that you exist, saying, well, that's interesting, learning a little bit more about you, and then connecting and having a relationship and or a purchase from you. That's called
right,
relationship building. That
right.
has not changed. Show me any business, any business model, any product. That'll be a second challenge. Put your rock star and challenge me with any business, and I will
Name a
show you
business.
how they're
This is a
following
challenge. Name a
it.
business that wasn't built on human to human. Even
Yeah,
Netflix was built on originally
everything.
sending you a DVD in the mail,
Yeah, and connecting with you, connecting with what
connecting
you
with
would
you,
trust,
what you
what you
want.
what you want, who you are, understanding the message. All of
Yes,
those pieces come back to these kind of core fundamental things about how we exist person to person. And the more that we recognize that that's actually where we win, that's the foundation we build our business on, the more powerful it is. Because we too often believe that tax and tactics are strategy, and they're
yes,
not. Those are literally just tax and tactics and hacks, right? Like they are just those little things that go, oh, I post like this. That's a tactic, right?
right,
Oh, I'm gonna put this thing out in there and do 3 videos. Okay, that's another tip thing that you're trying. That's not an overall strategy. Like when we're trying to
right,
look at a business strategy, now again, people go, oh, I do this. They make these complicated funnels. The strategy is the relationship. The strategy is
right.
really simple, right? I want you to look at your spouse, look at your friends. The same strategy you use to become friends or to date your spouse, same strategy in business. Why? Because that's how humans connect. That is how we work. That is what
Personal
it is.
relationships. Yep,
Personal relationships. And I
yep.
know that it sounds foofy and goes like, okay, gosh, but how do I do that at scale? Well, there's 2 ways to look at that. One is you don't, right? And I
Okay,
think we all recognize that to a certain degree. The bigger a business gets, the less they're able to connect with us on scale. But I will say this,
okay.
if a business has done their due diligence
Mm-hmm.
in actually really growing that, the loss of intimacy as the company gets older will sustain when they've started from a good place, right? This is the idea of if you have a relationship that started in a very strong place, mutual honesty, all of those things, and you guys have a falling out, the likelihood of you going and coming back together is going to be very high because you had a strong foundation. And so
Right,
those
right.
businesses that we see that go, well, what about this? They got big and their customers and clients are still loyal and around. You're right. but they started on the right foundation. But the companies that do the slimy stuff, that do the hey, get this, what is the one you always see? Get my free book, just pay shipping, right? That tactic. It's not a free book, and you are paying for it, people. Those kind of things that, okay, they got you for this free book, but did they connect on the next thing? And then it just becomes a way to sell to you. And then you get wise to it and you unsubscribe. And so this is the thing that we want to understand, is that when you hear this and go, Tanya, relationship, gosh, it's so, fluffy and cutesy sounding, but it is about how we connect, and it can be done at scale when we start the right way. And so it is something that is a very tangible way to guide your business.
I want to know about, you're the co-founder of Modern Business Mastery with your business partner, Christina Hellman. I want to know how that came about. And then also I attended one of your coaching sessions, and I loved the segment where you went, what's in 24 and what's out in 2024. So I want to know more about what you think the future of the coaching industry is.
Oh, yes. Okay. Well, so what was the first one we were starting with?
The first one is, how did you create the Modern Business Mastery with Christina?
Yeah. Well, so Modern Business Mastery, I'm really excited about. It's brand new this year. And it just came out this year. So I have been working under my business and my brand for quite some time now. 22 years doing this independently as a business strategist and stuff globally, and under the Tanya MFK brand. And so the Tanya MFK brand, myself, has now decided to focus more on situations like this, speaking, authorship, things like that. And I'll continue my one-to-one. But we started looking at the idea of entrepreneurship, and that there's a lot of places out there that are teaching concepts. You can go to any of the websites and they'll teach you some business things. You can figure out how to make your avatar, lots of information, good information, lots of crappy information, and you're left to sift through this. A lot of us also know that there are coaches for an extraordinary amount of money to low amount of money. You can find a coach, right? There's all these ways that you can invest or try to get the information to move your business on the way. One of the things that I found was that as I would see kind of what other places were saying about business, it was just the same old rhetoric, right? It was the same, here's your avatar, know your audience, how to start a business. It's the same things, and they're so generic, they're so bland. Everybody shows up, as a business coach. Typically I get, by the time somebody gets to me, they've been running a business for a while, and they're stuck, and they're going, I need to do something, or I'm calling it quits. And so by the time they get to me, I can see all of the ways they've been spinning their wheels. They have their avatar, and they have their 8 segments and all the stuff that they've been told to do online. And they're stuck. And I'm usually the first voice that they hear that comes in to go, forget all this. We don't need all this complication. You don't need to be on 8 social media places. And in fact, you should only be on 1 until your business is stronger. That's a whole other thing we can talk about. But there's it's the first time that somebody's gone, this doesn't have to be so complicated. And we started to go, there's a simple way to look at this. And that's how we started playing with this modern business, the idea of modern business, that it's no longer this old, Mad Men type of, hey guys, drinking.
Thank God.
That's not what it is. And in fact, it can be very simple. We can have joy. We don't have to do this hustle culture nonsense. And that was the thing. So as I was doing this, I was connecting with Christina at the time, who had her marketing business, and we were just so aligned, and most of our conversations would get into these kind of rabbit trails of what is this nonsense? No one's talking about this stuff. Everyone's talking about avatars. Nobody's talking about when's the last time that you had a break? Because a break is a business decision, people. I know it doesn't seem like it, but it is. And nobody was really going, here, everyone was going, here's the information, but no one went, how do you actually entrepreneur? How do I show up each week and manage my time so I can write the content? How do I make sure I have time so I don't feel burned out? How do I make sure I'm enjoying my life so I have resilience when sales might not be doing so good? All of those pieces, we started to go, there isn't a voice out there, and we're going to be it. And I had a partner in crime to shout that message with me. And that's how I connected with Christina, and we created this, and that's what we're doing. And so that's why we have a community now that is free, that helps people with business details, copywriting. What do we have? We have a coach in there who does nutrition and wellness, because it's not enough to know your flipping avatar. And I'm not picking on anyone who picked their avatar. Okay. I know. I'm just, if I see
no offense to James Cameron, we love you.
Yeah.
I get it. The avatar. I'm being sarcastic. Yes, I get it.
Yeah. Yes. But if one more person comes and goes, oh, my avatar is Sally, who's 43 and a marketing development. No, she's not.
Shops at this and eats this. And it's like, okay, that's great. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. And what do you do with that? And what's the reality of that? Because I don't care if Susie's a marketer in 43. I want to know what Susie's struggling with. What is she frustrated with?
Emotion. What does she want to achieve in her life?
I want to hear psychographics, not demographics, because I don't care if she's 46.
Ooh, repeat that. Sorry, repeat that.
I want to hear psychographics, not demographics.
Ooh,
right? I want to understand what's going on in their head. And I don't care, if Sally's 46, am I not going to take her if she's 47?
Right.
I'm going to take her probably. Right. So I don't care about that. But if I have somebody who I say, I want the gal who constantly gets shut down in meetings, she's not speaking up, she's being passed over for jobs, and she's getting home going, I'm tired of this crap. That's a mindset. And I don't care if she's 46 or 26. If they're in that mindset, that's what you might work with, right? That's what you're looking at. And so understanding those little nuances in business and creating the simplicity and freedom in it, that's again, kind of that whole approach of what we have. And as we're looking at that, and even with that avatar thing, my clients have heard this from me a million times, but I'll share it because it's fun. One of the things that drives me nuts is, especially in the coaching space, is we have a big, there's a statement that floats around a lot, and it's typically something to the effect of, I help women, I help empower women and break through limiting beliefs, right? Something to that effect. And it's a beautiful statement, right? Like, being empowered is amazing. A lot of us are dealing with limiting beliefs, but I'm going to tell this to you all who may be contemplating using this as a description for your business. There is no woman in the world who wakes up and says, gosh, if I could just feel more empowered and break through these limiting beliefs, I would have a good day. It doesn't happen.
That's so
true. Stop speaking like a coach and speak like your client. Okay.
Yes.
As a coach, you know that they need to be empowered and they need to break through limiting beliefs. Okay. As a client, that's not what they see or know. They know they're tired of boss guy being a jerk. And so when you show up, you say, I help people who are dealing with, jerk bosses. You don't say, I empower you limiting beliefs. So there's my little nugget for my.
I love the nugget. I really think this is the future of the coaching businesses. Okay, it's just like we're talking about with the music thing. People had to adapt. Okay, people had to adapt. All of a sudden, they're listening back to music. My life's music, right? They're listening to vinyl records, then they're listening to cassettes, and there's always that period of people are like, no, I want it the old way. But technology keeps moving forward. So what can we learn from this? That yes, you have your avatar, whatever you want to call it, but all this old way of this, how do I say it? Like putting everybody into, like you said, the demographics, right? Women of this age, people that work in this business. I think that's the old way. I think we got to do away with that and get more into, this is what we talk about with our coaching program and stuff too, is talking one-on-one with your client. And I want to talk about your client creation code, your workshop that you're presenting next week. I want to, and then after that, I want to ask you your favorite rock star, and then we'll wrap this up. But I want to know more about the client creation code.
Yeah, well, and I know there was a couple other things that you had asked about too, which kind of some of the what's in and what's out of business. Are you still there? Are we all good?
I just lost you. Audio just went out. Hang on, what
Okay,
happened?
that's okay.
You
I'm
there, Tanya?
unmuted. There we are. I'm here. Are we here?
Tanya? Oh
Yeah.
no.
The host has
What
unmuted
happened?
my mic. Let's see.
Oh, technical difficulties. Wow. Can you
Let's
hear
see.
me?
Let's
Can you
see.
hear me?
Yes, I
I
can hear
cannot hear
you.
you. Try
Okay.
going to your, oh wow, I don't know. This is live. There's no settings.
It's
Go
all
to your
right,
settings and see if your
everyone.
mic got turned off.
We'll try some
Oh,
things.
oh, okay. Come back into the, all right. Well, this is live. This is why we do it live. We're going to stay on here for a little bit. She's going to reconnect. I think her microphone went out right at the best part, talking about the client creation code. This is a workshop that Tanya, here she is. She's coming back in. Okay. Are you there?
Did that work?
Oh,
No?
I don't know. I don't know
It's
what's
so
happening with
weird.
the audio. Um,
Mm.
hang on. Okay, this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite Tanya to create a video talking about the client creation code, and we're going to post it up here and post it on LinkedIn to help promote. And I guess we haven't had a technical thing like this before. So, but she will answer any questions you have in the comments. And I think we're going to try it one more time, and then I think we're going to wrap it up. Look, this is how it is live. There's advantages to going live. There's advantages to going tape. I like live, just like in the music industry. It was, you get one chance to make it happen. So, okay. So on that note, we're going to say thank you for tuning in. See if she comes in one more time here.
Are we good? Are we good? Oh, it's strange because now you're muted.
Okay.
There you are. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I
Okay.
can.
Okay. So back to, I was just telling the
Technology,
audience.
everyone. Technology.
I was just telling the audience this is how it was with live concerts. Sometimes you have, the guitar goes out in the middle of the show and the show keeps going. So we are back to it.
You just got to play with it.
You
Just a
just got
couple
to
minutes.
power through. I want to hear more about the client creation code.
Yeah, client creation code and a little bit about the what's in, what's out. And in case you missed that workshop that G was referring to, we just went over really kind of what's shifting and changing in business for 2024, especially for those of us who consider ourselves heart-led entrepreneurs. And so a lot of this was, and you brought it up when you were kind of talking about how we just lump everybody into one space. And one of the things we talked about was, the idea we used to lump people into segments, right? This is a woman from this. And it's really about coming back to the human part of it, right? That was a big part of it. And learning to love your competition and radical collaboration. And so if you missed it, reach out to me. I'll get you the replay. But I would say the biggest takeaway, or overall takeaway is more accurate for that, is that this rise in technology, as wild and different and uncharted as it is, it has already created a shift and a deeper need for us to show up as human. And so when I say that, I don't mean literally like I am not a robot type of I am human, but recognizing that those extra pieces, whether it be live chat with a real person, or if it's about the way that you write your emails, those little things are going to be more valuable than ever, rather than the person who goes full remote tech like guy, right? Like there's going to be big benefits to holding on to some of that humanity within this new tech push. And I think right now, I don't know either in the future, right now is a beautiful synergy of both. I think it's pushing for humanity while enabling us to have these tools of technology, right? As we can move forward. So yes, that was what that was. And then as far as the client creation code, so that is our workshop next week. And the concept of the client creation code is really kind of piggybacking on this, the number one question that everybody asks when they're in business, which is, how do I get more clients? How do I get more clients? Like, let's be honest, without more clients, you're running a nonprofit organization, which is usually not by choice, right? And so if we want a business, we need to be making sales, we need to get clients. The problem is in the question itself, right? Where do I get clients, as if there's a little pond of clients sitting there going,
They're all just waiting
right?
here.
That's
and
not a
find the
thing,
pond.
right?
Yes.
And I hear this. This is that old advice that we talked about, right? That old
Yes.
advice comes from that go where your clients are. They're human. Clients are everywhere. There's
Everywhere.
8 of us, okay?
Everywhere.
Your client is on TikTok. Your client is on
Yes.
Facebook. Your client is on Instagram. Your client is on Twitter. So my
Yes.
question and my point
And
to you
LinkedIn.
is figure out where, and on LinkedIn. My point is figure out where you like to hang out. Because
Yes.
we're humans, will be everywhere. You pick where you're
Yes.
comfortable, where you like to hang out, where you get it, where you can do those things. Because in the end, what the client creation code is, it's not a thing to unlock a secret code. It's a code of conduct, right? The client
Okay.
creation code is really about showing up in that authenticity. And then the simplicity of the business is really about having the core parts in order. It's not about having the hacks. It's not about having this, 8-step click funnel thing going on. No offense to any click funnel people there, but it's if you really want to understand like the fundamentals, or this is actually what I'm going to say. The unsexy part about a business hack is that it is the fundamentals. But if you're willing to put in the work, and I mean the work, to have those fundamentals really, really clear, you will see a business shoot off. Because not enough people are spending time in validating their product, are really, really actually going to someone want this dang thing. And even if they do, can they pay for it, right? No one's spending enough time doing that. Really deeply understanding your audience. Like I said, not empowering limiting beliefs, but I mean like really what they're struggling with.
Focused, very strategic.
Yeah, when you send an email, they go, oh my God, that's me, right? Their friends can go, whoa, that's you. Like they can see it so much. That's how you understand. Yeah, your voice. Exactly what G is helping you bring out, that voice, right? Clarifying your offer, right?
Yes.
You might have one, but if it's so darn complicated to understand, well, let me see. We have 4 tiers, and in that tier, and we have an 8-week and a 6-week. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
And I'll give you $200 off in the next 2 hours. I always thought like people would ask for, sorry to interrupt, people would ask for free tickets to concerts. I'm like, there are no free tickets to shows.
This is how it works.
Anyhow, I digress. It's like people walk up, oh, can you give me tickets? I'm like, no, sorry.
We used to call days of shows. Anytime anyone would message you on the day of a show, we used to call them punishers. And it was like, we would say basically, why am I getting punished for having a show? So you would get all these messages all day that would say, where is it? What time? Can I get a ticket? Can my friend come? You're just like, oh, these punishers all day long, like punishing me for having a show. No, totally get that. But so these are the things, these are the foundations that are not given enough focus because we're chasing these hacks. And that's what we talk about in the client code is this genuine idea value validation, deeply understanding your audience, clarifying your offer that people do know what you do. One of the worst compliments I ever got in my entire life was we always post on our stuff that says, hey, come to our event. There's no pitch, there's no sale. And one of our she's now a client, but she wasn't at the time. She said, yes, I can vouch for this. Tanya's pitch is so soft that I didn't know what she did for 2 years.
That's not a
compliment you want it to be. All right.
Thank you. But wow, 2 years. Okay. Well,
yeah, 2 years, not ideal. So this thing, like so many of us who are heart-led, who have this space, we're so afraid of being salesy that we actually don't make it clear what we offer. So we need to have that clarity and that confidence to bring that out.
Repetition.
And continuing to show that. That's a whole other system we talk about.
Back to the music industry. The reason you like those songs is they were in heavy rotation on radio stations, which meant every 4 hours they were being played on hundreds and thousands of radio stations at the same time. I won't get into how they were being played because we're not going to get into that. You know what I'm talking about. But that's why they're hits. That's why you know them, because it's repetition. If you heard Queen, We Will Rock You, We Are the Champions one time, you would not remember that song, but you heard it a million times, as we all have, right?
Yeah, so, and even if it wasn't your favorite, like you know it because of that, right?
Your branding message.
Yeah,
Yes, go ahead.
it's so important. That's the thing and so even in this, when we talk about clarifying your offer, just because you said it once isn't
Yes,
enough. So like you were saying, that continuous showing up and doing it. And so those are the main parts, the code, client code. And then we have, after clarifying your offer, it's obviously building a brand that resonates, not one that looks pretty, not one that
right.
always, but just one that resonates, that consistently communicates your values that you stand for.
Yes,
You said
yes,
the most important part is you in your business, the uniqueness of you. This idea that you're going to find the one thing that nobody else does, and that's going to be like, let's be honest, most things in the world are here. Like there's
right.
not a lot new under the sun, right?
We're
We can
not going
talk
to invent a
about,
new word no one's ever heard of before.
yeah,
Really.
and
That's
but
something.
it's going to be your take on it that really does
Right.
it. So look at like Uber and Lyft. Uber went,
Right.
oh, we're new. I think they were first, right? And
Yeah, I
then
think
someone right away went, me too. And then now we went, okay, how do we decide? Typically on whatever is different about
right.
those two. Their uniqueness is what we do. And then after that, we're looking at simplifying your sales path, because if you don't have an actual process or system in your sales, like
Right.
none of this matters. And this is the part that's overlooked so often, because instead somebody's following some hack, right? They're going, oh, if I just post this PDF and say who wants it, then I get this. And I do, like, I've heard them all. All right. I've heard all. So no, have an actual sales process and system. You want a sustainable business, you need a legitimate sales process. And then in the end, remember that you're talking to hearts and not heads. And those are the 8 steps of the code.
So tell me, when is this workshop? And then I want to
Yes.
wrap up with who is your favorite rock star? And then
Oh, I love it. Okay.
I want to wrap up.
So,
Yeah.
yes, the workshop is next Thursday. I'm looking at my calendar here, April
Okay.
11th. It's 1 p.m. Eastern time and 6 p.m. UK time. So we
So
will.
that's 6 p.m. UK. Yeah, we did the hour change just now in Europe, so that's 7
We're
p.m.
finally back to normal. So yeah,
Back
1
to
p.m.
normal. That's
East
so
Coast. Yeah, 6 p.m. UK time. We'll have plenty of places all around here, LinkedIn, everywhere else to sign up and
UK
register. You can come
and
check out the free community to get in there, and we'll be going through all of those. I'm giving you tangible things to do with your business in those 8 steps. So it won't just be talking at you. We'll be giving you pieces so you can hopefully walk away with something tangible for your business after that hour. That's our goal.
perfect. This is so great. So I want to know, and we'll wrap this up because I know we're almost
Yeah.
at 45 minutes, and we got some time, but I know that we got clients
Yeah,
and stuff to take care of too. Who is your favorite rock star?
Gosh, this is a tough one. One of the first things that popped in my head, and this was only because I did a book report on him when I was
Okay.
in school, and I was a
Okay.
very strange child. So I did a book report on, oh my gosh, now his name is just escaping my brain. The lead singer of The Doors, the book The Lizard King.
Jim Morrison.
Jim
Jim
Morrison,
Morrison. I
thank
just
you.
had it right before. Jim Morrison, of course. Okay, yes, do tell. Do tell.
I was like 8, I think, doing a
Oh,
book
wow.
report on the Lizard King. Very inappropriate, but I was a huge Doors fan as a kid. I know. All the classics, right? Like your Hendrix on the guitar. I
Oh,
think I'm an
yes, yes.
old spirit when it comes to like that. Your Robert Plants and his voice.
Yes.
Like I
Signature
have
sound.
bands that I like now, but like rock star status, I think I gotta go
Yeah.
back to the greats, like I think that's but I'm definitely in like that kind of vibe. I'm in like the Robert Plant, Jimi
Yeah.
Hendrix,
Zeppelin.
kind
Oh my
of
God.
Jim Morrison vibe over there.
There's so many comparisons and similarities to your business as well, because like if Led Zeppelin quit or didn't perform after the Beatles came out, it would be they're great bands, but different. I know we could
Yes.
talk about this for hours. I
Oh,
know we're
maybe that's the
running
next
over,
series we
but
gotta do, G. We gotta do the
we
music
will
business
continue
stuff.
this. We'll have some more videos and things, and I want everybody to connect with and follow Tanya and
Yes.
her business partner
I'm Tanya
Christina.
MFK everywhere. So TanyaMFK.com, at TanyaMFK YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, all that.
And I love the MFK. Tune in earlier to find out what it really means. What I still think it means is MF cool. Okay.
Nice.
And be sure to tune in to join her workshop. That is on
Yes.
Thursday. This Thursday?
Next Thursday, April 11th.
What's the date? So when people watch the
April
playback?
11th.
April 11th, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. UK, 7 p.m. Czech and Central European time. Thank you so much, Tanya. This is great. Thank you for staying with us through the technical stuff.
We
This is
made it.
live. I had so much fun. Until
Yes.
next time. Okay,
Bye.
ciao. Cheers. See you, Tanya. Say hi to the hubby for me. Okay.
I will.
Cheers. Ciao.